Seeking validation from men. One of the things I've noticed that has changed massively about me in my recovery journey is that my confidence has grown massively. And obviously, I've lost a lot of weight, so that's helped with that. But before I'd lost the weight, when I was single and I used to go out and I'd have like a night out on the town or whatever, I was constantly looking for attention. I was always looking for a man to make me feel good about myself, to make me feel like I had some sense of self and like some level of self-worth, because I didn't like myself. I didn't like my life choices. I didn't like the way I was behaving. So the only time I got any kind of buzz out of it was when I was able to get attention from men. And I think that's quite a common theme, and I think it's something that we do need to address, because you are worthy and you don't need a man to validate you. When you get sober and clean, everything about that changes. Like, if you're putting up with behaviour in a relationship that is shit, then you won't put up with that behaviour anymore, because you start to realise your self-worth. You start to realise that you deserve better. And it's so nice now that I don't need to seek validation from a man anymore. Like, I don't need, and I'm not saying it's just men. It's obviously, if you're on the other side of it, it could be that you're a man seeking validation from a woman. But for me personally, I used to feel that how I felt about myself wasn't enough. Like, I needed confirmation of someone else to confirm that I was a good enough person, to confirm that I was worthy of love, all these different things. And when you get sober and clean, you start to discover who you are again. You start to discover yourself and what you really stand for, and all these things that you may have put up with in the past, you'll stop putting up with them, because you start to realize that, you know, you're a good person. And just because you've been in active addiction doesn't take away from that. And it's just so nice now to be able to be a confident person and not need that validation. Like, I don't need somebody to constantly tell me they love me. I don't need somebody to constantly tell me that I look good, or, you know, that I don't look like a certain way, or whatever it may be. I don't need to look at intercourse, for example, for affection, to make me feel like I'm wanted. All those things have gone. Like, I get my kicks now out of doing things for myself. And it's such an important message, because if you are clinging on to a relationship that's not working, or if you're sort of constantly seeking validation from men when you're out on the piss and you're looking for attention, you don't need to be that way. And I promise you, when you get sober and clean, you'll start to have so much more self-respect and so much more dignity, and you'll know that you'll know what you're about, and you won't need that validation anymore. And it's such a great feeling, and it's another perk of being sober and clean.